Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. First order of business, no, you did not win a prize, despite what anybody in the comments down below that appears to be me without the check mark is telling you. Number two, the Wi-Fi, internet, whatever in my office is so shoddy lately. The Instagram counter is not working. I just got so fed up with it. I'm going with a new service. And the third order of business, and perhaps the most exciting, we're approaching the vernal equinox. The geochron sunlight lines will go strictly vertical in just a couple of days. Very exciting. So maybe the most exciting news, I'm sorry, would be why we're here today. Today we're releasing the Islander Port Jefferson, or Port Jeff, as most people on Long Island refer to the town. Kind of eastern middle Suffolk County. Maybe roughly 20 or so miles from where I am. North Shore town, very quaint, very cute. Ferry goes to Connecticut from there. Lots of little town shops, restaurants. Kind of touristy, really nice. So it is our first skin diver. What is a skin diver? I guess we'll get into that now, and we'll show it to you later. A skin diver refers to a watch from decades ago, maybe 40, 50 years ago, where you were not scuba diving. So you did not need scuba equipment. You were just kind of snorkeling or, well, skin diving, if you will. And snorkeling, skin diving, not going to 200 meters at all. So usually they had a little bit of a less water resistance. So the ones you can see today are 150 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown, which is still plenty for even a recreational diver. But that's where the term skin diver comes from. It's kind of like a vintagey term. And today it's just come to mean kind of a svelte, slimmer dive watch. And that's about it. So on my own wrist, I am wearing the Islander Bethpage Amerigraph. This is the ISL 200 with the silver dial. You've heard me say it before. I never thought I'd like a silver dial as much as I really love this watch. And on my other wrist, a white dial diver that never should have been discontinued. It is the Orient Mako USA 2 with the white and the black. Really looks cool. Love this watch. But if you like white dial divers, wait till you see the Port Jeff in white, because I think it's the best one of the bunch. Let's see them now. Okay, so say hello to the Port Jefferson. There's 5 models to choose from. As usual, they're all going to be the same, just varying in the bezel and dial and hand configuration. Model numbers ISL 175 through 179. I'll get right down to it. I'm going to start with the white dial because it actually happens to be my favorite. Well, there wasn't or isn't a blue dial in the bunch, so I think this one's got the best, the best pop of color. I love how all the colors play, just kind of play off of each other. It is a 40 millimeter diameter case, so it's a great, great, great size. It is, okay, here's where Mark comes clean. I'm advertising it as 11 millimeters thick. If you measure from the back, center back to the apex of the crystal, it actually is 11 and a half. It's 11 just to the edge of the bezel, at the edge of the crystal to where it meets the edge of the bezel. The sapphire crystal has an ever so slight 0.5 millimeter dome to it, as you can see as I go off angle and you see some distortion. So I just want to come clean, but it's an 11 millimeter thick watch, including the crystal. It's 11 and a half. I could have gone with a flat crystal to keep it 11, but I really like what the dome does. 48 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip, and you do see negative or female end links. They articulate beautifully at the case for superior comfort. The Islander embossed lighthouse case back, super thin. Look at that case back. It's just so flat, very comfortable against the wrist. It is a single dome sapphire crystal with AR on the inside, and what single dome means is you get a little bit of off-angle distortion, but you also get magnification when you look at it dead on. 20 millimeter lug. It is a nice beads of rice bracelet, and as I mentioned, it is a negative end link. It is solid end links, solid links size with screws. These are actually the photo samples. So 2 of the links are actually taken out. When you look, you'll see there's only 2 here, and there's like 4 here. The photographer, when he puts it, when Ty, who is the photographer, does a great job, Ty Alexander Photography, plug him wherever I can, he takes some links out for his wrist. So when I do my own wrist later, you'll see how much extra room there is. Let's see, so 20 millimeters, 150 meters of water resistance, which is really good enough for virtually anybody doing anything in and around the water. Technically, it's not a 200-meter diver, but it's got a screw down crown. It's got everything. 150 grams on the bracelet. Price is $415 for any of them. It's a screw-down crown logoed. It is powered by a Miyota 9015 movement. That's how we get the thickness so low. Unscrew it. You can set the time. One click out will change the date. There we go. And you will notice that the date is, it's not just on a negative. On all of them, you'll see the date wheel is color matched to the dial, which is really cool. Hand winds, hacks, 40 hours of power reserve. The Miyota 9015 is a beautiful movement. It's a high quality movement. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour, which gives you a very smooth 8 ticks per second. I know plenty of watchmakers that swear by the 9015 over many of the Swiss counterparts. That's not an endorsement from me. I'm just telling you that many people in the know would rather have a Miyota, as a value proposition over the Swiss stuff. I'm not saying the Swiss stuff is bad, and they're not saying it's bad, but the Miyota delivers a ton for the price. The dial colors are awesome on this one, or all the colors, right? So it's a white dial, white like my glove, paper white. You have a nice, beautiful orange accented seconds hand. And I want you to look at all the models when I bring them up on screen. I want you to pay attention to some of the minor details. Like look at the lines going through the hour and minute hand. On this one, the line happens to match the seconds hand. It's orange. Just a beautiful little cue that you don't pick up until you really stare at the watch. Lovely applied indices. In this case, they're done in kind of like a gray and then a little blue fill. You'll see the lume at the end. It's C3 superluminova. Everything glows green. It is a 120 click ratcheting bezel, unidirectional ratcheting bezel, coin edge, sloped ceramic insert filled with lume. They're all glossy inserts except for, I'll show you the last one will be a matte insert. But just a lovely use of color. You see the Islander logo, the Islander name, automatic 150, and the date is framed in that orange. I'm coming as close as I can without losing a focus. Yeah, love it. This one came out, man, this one came out freaking hot. Love it. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm calling this color Sun Faded Orange. Reminds me of an orange that was left out in the sun. Not too long, but over years as the UV kind of fades orange colors. It's kind of what it looks like. It's a little muted, a little faded. Okay, so we've got a glossy blue ceramic insert. We have a matched date wheel. The dial is beautifully balanced. White writing on the logo, the name, automatic. The applied indices are done in white filled with blue. I just love the indices on this. Wait till you see it when it lights up in the dark. I just love the calling them U's, I guess. Not Utes, that's different. It's from a movie. These are U's, the little U's. And the one at 12 is a little bit longer. Just really killer. I love the way this guy looks. Nice, okay. That was 2, so that's Sun Faded Orange. Trying with, kind of nautical themes, nautical colors if I can. This one going for Caribbean Green. I was going to call it Pistachio, but then I was like, you know what? I want to kind of really keep the water theme going. So Caribbean Green. So I have a beautiful green color, slightly specular, I guess. Orange accents, silver hands on this guy, again with the color matched date. Orange dots along the outside. Look at the chapter ring on all of these. It's raised. Okay, it's a separate piece, a separate part of the dial, or a raised part of the dial. Just really nicely well done. This guy has a black ceramic glossy bezel insert filled with lume. Again, you'll see the lume at the end. Check out the black lines going through the hands. Have you been watching the hands as I asked you to? You can see the lines going through this one, kind of like a blue line to match everything else. This guy's got a black line. So cool. Just very different. Very different from a lot of other watches that we do in the lineup. And so thin. Just 11 millimeters thin. So it's going to slide under any cuff or anything. Really cool. So that was Caribbean Green. So now we're going to go to charcoal. I'm calling this guy charcoal. That's because I was going to go with like stormy water or stormy sky or something. But I figured let's just go charcoal because that's kind of what it is. I was going for almost like an SKX 009 color. But it's not as deep, I would say. You can definitely tell this is not black. A lot of people always confuse 009 with a black dial watch, which it's not. It's very deep blue-gray. This is a charcoal color. We have an orange seconds hand. Went with black hands on this guy. I'm just trying to rotate it a little bit so you can see you're not looking at reflections. These are actually black hands. Filled with beautiful loom. We have orange seconds hand, little orange accents. Again, with the color matched date, excuse me, there's no day on these, color matched date. This has a blue, there we go, a blue glossy ceramic insert that is loomed. Again, with the logoed crown. There was a logo on the clasp. It's a 3-position. Did I show this before? I don't know. 3-position micro adjust. Standard fare clasp. The bracelet was sized with screws. I definitely showed you that. Nice sapphire crystal. Single dome, as I said, gives a little bit of a magnification. But that's not why I did the dome. I did the dome simply because I just like the off-angle distortion and just the overall aesthetic that it gives. It makes it harder to film, of course, and harder to photograph, but I like everything else that it brings to it from I guess from a warmth perspective. So that's the charcoal. Then the last one. This is the guy that's got the matte black ceramic insert, calling this the black gilt. It's been a few minutes, so why don't we roll the hands back. So this guy's got a black dial. I think I almost caught my glove in that. This guy's got a black dial, yellow gold hands. They're not gold applied numbers, indices. They kind of match the color of the loom on the loom paint fill on the ceramic bezel. Kind of like a palish yellow, but it worked with the hands. A red accent, red and yellow gold just work well together. Frame date, again, color matched, of course. Really nice look. You know, a lot of people, our other gilt diver was the ISL 88, the waffle dial, and people still ask for that. So if you are looking for that watch to come back, good news, Ryan's working on it right now. He's got some tricks up his sleeve, and those will probably come out later this year, maybe Q3 or so. I don't know if I got close up on the dial on this guy. I'll just do it just in case I didn't, and I'll just do the other. I know I definitely did the white one. Here's the green. And then here is that sun-faded orange. Whoops. There we go. So I will do a loom shot. They're kind of like I said, they're kind of like all the same. So I'll do the loom on this guy, and then I'll do a wrist. So there you go, lights up very well. The name, the logo, the bezel looks great. Check out the indices, that U shape. Really looks sweet. I love everything. I love this watch in the light. I love this watch in the dark. I think it looks swell. I think a white one is definitely in my future. I try not to get high on my own supply, but sometimes, of course, it just happens. You guys have seen my watch chest. 5 drawers. Each drawer holds 55 watches, I believe. The top drawer is actually almost full of Islanders now, so I might have to sneak into the next drawer. So as I put this on, remember what I said. Oh, remember I'm an idiot. Gotta take off the Mako. Remember what I said before, that 2 links were taken out of this already. So before we talk about the bracelet, let's look at the sizing. 40 millimeters, my wrist is 6.5, 6 3/4. Beautiful. End links, gorgeous. Hug the wrist, snap my wrist in half for you. You can kind of see what's going on. Amazing. Love the look. Bracelet. Still got room with 2 links removed, so I'm gonna go with a 7 3/4 or so to 8-inch wrist is what this is going to fit. Of course, if you ever need more links, we can accommodate, but it's gonna go down easily. There's, I don't know, like 6 more links you can remove. So I would say this is probably going down to like a 6-inch wrist or so. So pretty small, so it should fit almost everybody. It looks fantastic. And I think that's gonna do it. Why are these upside down? This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the new Islander Port Jeff, our first skin diver light. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, concerns, anything else, put it down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.